Angie T. My name is Datoy, and now I will discuss the employee class and required once the session start in our PHP. So let's start with the employee class. Then here in employee class, we declare three attributes, which is the name, position, and date of employments. So we put them into access modifier a private, since according to the requirements, we have to use the getters and setters. Then we declare a constructor, which is the name, position, and date of employment. Next is we make another function, which is the get monthly salary. So this public function where the monthly salary of per person is get like a getter. So for example is if the position is manager, it will return 7,000. Then if developer, it will return 5,000. Then if designer, it will return 4,000. And if intern, it will return 2,000. So this function will be used by the compute salary. Okay, so in this compute salary, so this function where the salary of the employee will be calculated or the compute. So we put the get monthly salary into variable. So in this variable, this will be the basis of which position will be choose. So if the user choose the manager will get the manager salary we get from the get monthly salary. Then after getting the monthly salary of manager, it will multiply to 12 months and the percent of that position. For example, is 0.20, which is a 20% of annual bonus. Then same goes with the developer, which is developer is a month and 12 months. So her this salary is 5,000. Then it will multiply to the annual bonus of or will adding to annual bonus of 0.10, which is 10%. Then next is the designer. You have 5%. Then the intern is 0% because according to the requirements, the intern is has no annual bonus. Then this one of these functions is the setters and getters of the attributes. For example, is the set name and get name. This is for the attribute of name. Then set position and get position for the position, which is the manager, designer, developer, and intern. Then the set date of employment and get date of employment, which is the where the getters and setters of the date or the exact date of employment of each employee. Then let's go to the form.php where I will discuss the require once and the session start. So the require once, this require once is we're going to import another PHP into the main PHP. So we get the PHP of the employee. This since this is the uh since this is a class of our employee management system. Then this session start is it will refresh the PHP once. Okay, in session start. So it will have to getting the other PHP twice or more. So when the session start, it will refresh one only. Like it will getting one only PHP. Then in session is where you can put an array and getting them by indices that will be discussed by my group mates. And thank you for listening. Panatan.
Our greetings. I'm Angie Odvina, and I'll be explaining the first half of our PHP code, starting from the variables to the delete employee handler. So first we have this empty variables for update features that will be explained later by Yeshabelle Olango. And next is the session R initialization. So if the session does not exist or has not been created yet, it will initialize an empty employee array. Next is the add employee handler. So this block will execute when the form is submitted with the add employee button. First, it will retrieve the data of name, position, and date of employment. Then it will create a new employee object that will be added to the session array. Then last, it will redirect back to the form page. Next is the delete employee handler. So this block will execute when the user click the delete button. So first, it will retrieve the index of the employee that the user wants to delete. Then it will check if the employee exists. Then it will remove them from the session array using an unset. Then it will re-index the array so there are no gaps in the numbering. Then after that, it will redirect back to the form page. And that's all for my part. Thank you very much.
Dangal greetings, I'm Yeshabelle Olango. So in this part, is this is just the if condition, nested if condition for finding the employee's index, and setting that index into that new name position, getting that employee by name, position, and that the date of employment for editing. And if if this code find its index, it will run this if condition. Then this is for the saving of the edited update. Then this one is for the setter methods, and get for the edited update and exit. So
Hello everyone, my name is Crystel Labine and I'm going to explain our form in our code. So let's start here with our H2 of the PHP echo. So as you can see here, we have the $sign edit index it's not equals to 1. So what does it do? So we have the header, and here we have the header, and if we are editing, it will show here, which is our ternary operator, if else, that it will show here that the title becomes edit employee details. But if we're adding new data, it will just says that add new employee. And then for our next one, we have the input type text, name, placeholder, full name, value, and then we have the PHP echo of the $sign edit name. So what does it do? So for this one, we have the value of the PHP echo edit name. But if we are editing, the person will, or the person's name appear inside the box automatically. So technically, it will pre-fill the data. So for example, we have the John Doe, it will pre-fill the data, and then the user will see that the name of John Doe if we are editing. So before saving or changing it. And then we also have the drop down, which is position, which is we have the select name position of the option value, and we also use here the $sign edit position is equals to manager to include, since we're going to use a ternary operator. So if the user selected manager, it will selected manager, but if it's not manager, it will select none. So same as the other position, which is we have the developer, designer, and then we have our intern. So for our next one, we have the input type date, value PHP echo date and required, and then we have the input type hidden name index to update value PHP echo and edit index. So what does it do? So as you can see here, we have the date picker in our input type date. Since this one, the type date provides a calendar pop-up, and then we all have the value of the PHP echo, which is we can edit date or show the employee the existing start date when editing. And then we have here the edit date, where if the user will edit the date, it will show, and also same as the um, um, edit edit name, where it will also pre-fill also the data, or pre-fill the data that the user chosen before. And then we also have the hidden tracker, where here is the type hidden is the user cannot see this. So the purpose is we send the ID or list of the number of the employee to the server, and we don't want the user to see it, so we use input type hidden, so it will remain hidden or will not show from the user. And here we also have the toggle buttons or the logic switch, where we use if else again, where here if edit index is not equals to -1, uh, is not is not equals to -1, the button type we have here that if we are editing, it will show the save changes button, so link to the update, and then we have the cancel link to go back to the form, and then else if we are not editing, and it will show the add employee button. So for the summary of this is the $sign is the edit index, the switcher, and then we have the $sign edit name and edit position, and $sign edit date for the data to currently displayed in the form fields. That's all, and thank you.
Tangal greetings, my name is Jomari S. Lagata, and I will be explaining this part of code, specifically the employee records part. So here inside the div name records area, we have the employee records as a header, and then we use the table to show the list of the employees. Now, inside the header or the T head, we have the table rows with the table headers, name, position, monthly salary, and etc. Now, when it comes to body, we need to use a for enhance for each loop to loop through each employees that was added in the array. So here, this is the array, and this is the index which keeps track of the position, and then the EMP is a variable to store the current employee, and we will use that variable later in the code to get the data that is assigned to that specific employee inside is it specific employee with that index. So here, first is we need to get the name and the position, and each of them is separated by the table data. So we use PHP echo, and this is the variable EMP to get the name of that employee as well as the position. Next, here we need to get the monthly salary and computed salary from the array, and it is displayed in the table. Now next is of course to get the date of employment of that specific employee using the EMP variable again. And this is just the format, and this is the method. Then lastly, in the table data, we need to add two buttons, which is the update and delete. So to do that, we added this ahref to have that action. Now, when the update button is clicked, it will force the users to update the selected index. Yes, the selected employee. And then, of course, is the delete button, which has a confirm method uh, to confirm if the user wants to delete that employee. And of course, This is the end of the for each loop, and that is all.